books can escape from the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. Bet's gonna cover, bet's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Steam play.
There I am. It's still Halloween back there. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Steam for Monday, November 3rd. Got a great day of sports betting ahead, including NFL action tonight. We'll be along with the boys here tonight with Razor Sharp Picks and Sports Money Network and the game between Arizona and Dallas. Monday Night Football live companion coverage tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. There's also a little bit of college basketball going on. You guys already into it? We already have the first game here. We're in the second half. It's been a great game so far to get the season started. Winthrop had a pretty big lead there, and here comes Queens College. They've been coming back slowly but surely. They haven't quite been able to pass them up right now, but Winthrop leading here, I think, by a couple of points with still 15 and a half to go here. Check it out on YouTube. Maybe if you know, I know you're here with me right now, but the game is on YouTube. Maybe you can have a couple of browsers open here. We got the game going between Queens and Winthrop right now. Hey, I have action. I have action. You might too. What are we on here? We're on over in this game. We also have a little bit of Queens plus the points. So and a couple more games. And I'll give out some picks here in a little bit. We won't do too many college basketball games. I mean, there is about 80 games a day. It seems like maybe it's 60, but big card. And I picked a few of the good games out, but every day you can expect probably just the best games here really that we'll preview. You almost could, I don't know, kind of use KenPom. If you guys have KenPom, time to get your KenPom subscriptions renewed. But, when it comes to it, probably just kind of go off the top KenPom games that are on TV. It's a little hint or secret as to how we pick the game, how I pick the games here. You know, the KenPom score. You know what I mean? They give that score, the thrill score, right? What's going to be the best games according to KenPom, and then sometimes they're not always. You know, the best game might not be in that, but that's, you know, if you have that, you can kind of get. And again, mostly national televised games, unless there's something really cool like this going on with Winthrop up by 4 here in the second half. Go to the Field of 68 is the channel on YouTube that this game is on. Man, there's so much steam coming in too. I feel compelled to give out all the steam in college basketball coming in today. It's a good way to kind of cover so many games. We can't have a preview of every game on the opening day of college basketball, so I'll just keep giving out the steam that comes in. SMU just now, let's see here, was it? SMU just got steamed here on the show at minus 20.5. I think it opened about 20. Now we're looking at 22 here. SMU is taking on Tarleton State today at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And here comes some steam on SMU just a few moments ago. Also, you might have heard when we came on the air, it was Western Carolina taking some steam against Cincinnati. They're an underdog. They were getting 22. They're now getting, they might be getting 21 only now. Western Carolina took the steam against Cincinnati, and we're off and running in college basketball this season. Another one just as I was preparing for the show. Old Dominion and Miami of Ohio took Steam to the over with Old Dominion and Miami of Ohio. It was 147, but we're up to 148, 148.5. Steam to the over. Old Dominion and Miami of Ohio. And hey, if they come any more come in, I'm going to give them to you right here as part of the college basketball coverage. That's the best that I know how, other than just trying to preview 60 games. But you'll get your ratings together, or however you do. You want to wait for a game or so before you make some picks? That's fine too. There's only a billion games here until we get down and dirty in March and April and have the national championship. So Queens is kind of bombing some threes here. They're down 3, and it's fun to have a game on here in the college basketball season while we have the show to start this week. That's cool. All right. How about the NFL yesterday? Man, that was sad there at the end of the day, though, with the Seahawks and the Commanders last night, wasn't it? To see Jaden Daniels go down with that dislocated elbow. You guys told me that, a dislocated elbow, that's painful. And that's almost worse than it being broken. So, that was really a bummer. Hey, here's with some steam coming in here. Cleveland State, Loyola Chicago, steam to the over. That one's at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. It was 148. It's now 149 and a half here, it looks like. Cleveland State, Loyola Chicago, steam to the over. And those games are much later this afternoon. If you get on these steam plays at this hour, you're probably going to beat the line by, a point or two, I'd say, possibly. I'm giving you a live, real-time information when the game is moving. So, you might actually miss on some of the move when I give this information to you, but I guarantee you that's the way the game is moving. So just keep that in mind as we do the steam here. You know how it works, but it'll be even more active here, it feels like, this morning. All right, that was a bummer, though, with Jay Daniels getting that. It doesn't look like a season ender, though. New information coming out this morning that he could return here still. I mean, it's going to be several weeks for sure. But, man, it just looked gruesome, didn't it? The way the arm was poking out. And dare I say, I mean, I'm the one trying to stick up for Jaden Daniels. Mike keeps telling me about the soft, and he's right. I mean, Daniels has not been good, and I'm just a big fanboy. And right now, the Commanders, the season's over for the Commanders. I mean, Daniels being out notwithstanding. I mean, he couldn't lose that game. I was on the Commanders last night and the under, but we did hit some props, at least on the show last night. It wasn't totally ignorant or oblivious to what was going on there. We had several winners with those props on the show, but I wish the Kansas City Buffalo was a primetime game last night. Anyways, it was Seahawks absolutely drubbing the Commanders last night. Not even worth reviewing here. It doesn't feel like it, although we do. It was 31-7. They went on for the win. Darnold had threw 4 TD passes in the first half, right? And he was 16 of 16. So he's the man here right now. I mean, I don't think he can win any awards for what he's doing, but sure feels like the Seahawks have joined the ranks of the top contending teams in the NFC. Why wouldn't you include them with this group that can't really find a leader? And we're talking about Philadelphia, Detroit, the Rams, right? All these teams in the NFC. I mean, you have to consider, and I guess the Packers and the Vikings, don't want to leave these guys out in the crazy North Division there, what's going on there. But the Seahawks, you got to say, are definitely a team that can be in the mix for sure there. Felt like this week we had a bit of a turn in the standings. Like all the good teams all of a sudden fell to the bottom and vice versa. Here's a little steam coming in right now. Rio Grande Valley and Baylor. We're seeing some steam here to the over in this one with Rio Grande Valley and Baylor. This one was about 153, but we're going to be up to 154, 154.5 right now with the steam coming in. Rio Grande Valley and Baylor to the over right now. I'll say hello to everyone. Go to the chat. I mean, this is exciting. How about more steam before I do? Detroit Illinois, Chicago. Here's steam to the under on this one with Detroit and Illinois, Chicago. It was 144. We're down to 143 here. The steam's on the under with Detroit and Illinois, Chicago. These aren't arbitrary, moves that come out. These are the ones sent out by the Don Best Sports Service. I cover the fees so that I can have, but part of the feature here, the morning steam. The steam noise comes in and I say it over the air. I pay for this service so you can help me by joining me over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is how you support me on the channel, try to give you actionable betting information. I wish I had every winner at my fingertips, but I work hard to give you some information here on the channel, and that's my specialty here when I'm on all the shows with these guys. I pay attention to the market, so you don't have to. Just try to follow me here on the Sports Money Network and some of my other shows around the dial as well. And also you can join me at winnable.com/Ramon with more picks every day. And this is when you want to be subscribing to the picks here if you haven't already with college basketball season. I mean, I'm going to have probably a dozen picks today for sure, and in games, maybe even a couple packages today and every day with college basketball. This is a real good way to be in touch with me when there's so many games in college basketball, and it's what I do. I mean, I have these sheets here for a reason, going through every game with my ratings already written down. You may have to do the same thing, but this is all I do, so you can have me in your pocket there by joining at winnable.com/Ramon and get plays sent to your phone or email notification as well. I don't want to bother you too much. I try to send out the packages as frequent as possible, but also as infrequent as possible, if you know what I mean. Just try to bottle up plays. I don't want to bomb your phone, especially you got the notifications on, but I try to make sure you get a good, clean, concise update of picks. Usually it's between 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5. Today maybe. So, hey, how about Virginia Tech? They're taking some steam, and they're on the added board. Man, we got it covered here. Virginia Tech today taking some steam in their matchup here against Charleston Southern. Virginia Tech was minus 19.5, but they're up to minus 20.5 here right now with the steam. Virginia Tech taking the steam against Charleston Southern on the added board. Also, Hofstra took some steam just moments ago in their game against Central Florida. Central Florida was an 11.5 point favorite. They're down to 10.5, it looks like here, because Hofstra just took some steam here. And these are important moves. As I said, you'll want to keep up on these. And we'll keep going. Let me say hello to the folks here right now in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Should be fun here. Queens is, by the way, passed them up, and Queens is in the lead, 53-49. Hey, good morning to Nuke here today. Cash Kane is ready to go. Nuke said, college basketball. If you like sports betting, you know what I'm talking about. Action Jackson is here. Joe W's here. And Jimmy is here as well. Good to have the regulars here on a Monday. Look, Nuke says, I got Queens plus 5.5. Some people got it as low as minus 3. Queens was probably the you know what? When you're talking about Queens and Winthrop playing in the game at 8 in the morning Eastern time, like Nuke said here, you're probably thinking that feels like a sharp move, right? I think everybody's kind of talking up Queens. I was on a show last night. We were kind of talking up Queens. We know Queens has been pretty solid since coming to 1A ball and here, so they're looking pretty good. Here's Timothy here. Our Thompson's here, and Bobby Mack is here as well. And Caleb's better than Jaden. Yep, you could say that again, Terrell. I'm a Jaden Daniels fan, but it's tough to ignore the decline here. And I hope he's not RG3, because not only did RG3 kind of fizzle out fast, but you know what? His broadcast career was kind of just as bad, right? He started off all hot. I know he's got the famous family, but RG3 has already put himself in hot water because just thought he was a better announcer than he was, better broadcaster. But hey, you know what? So do I, right? And here I am with you guys. I'm so lucky to have you guys here as my audience on this show. I'm humbled every day to come on here and talk about this steam move right now with San Jose State taking the steam here against Utah. San Jose State was getting 12.5. They're down to 11.5 here. Taking the steam, it's San Jose State taking that steam just moments ago here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. Steelers typically win these type of games. I'll review some of the games right now here. And our Toms with the Niners. Yeah, but you know what? At least they got the win there. NFC crabs in a barrel. That's those plastic crabs, right? That you did when you were Terrell and I, right? Is that from an early age? Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Join me today at, I believe, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Oh, man, the stock market take a bad turn here to open the day up. There it goes. Bye-bye, stock market. A little bit of a tumble here to open the day.
Steam playing.
Going to want to join us today. I believe it's at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. I may be having some correspondence with the time change wrong with BB over there in Europe, but we'll have BB MMA picks today. I believe it's either at 3 or it might be at 4 Eastern, either noon Pacific or 1 Pacific. I sure wish I could figure it out, but I'll be ready for the show. That's for sure, even about to sit around for an hour. Hey, South Florida just got steamed in their matchup against Florida A&M. South Florida was a 22.5-point favorite. They're now 23.5 against Florida A&M. South Florida just took some steam against Florida A&M, laying some big points there for sure. All right, Tariq is there. Good morning to Tariq. And Jermaine says, let's see here. Oh, is he playing the tennis match? I know we got WTA finals right now. That's the other featured program. Might be actually the better. I'm not saying the basketball game isn't cool, but Iga is up against Rybakina here, and Iga's already gone up a break. WTA finals from Riyadh here right now. So coming up also Anisimova and Keys. Here this morning. Jermaine is here. D-Money is here as well. And Tariq, was disappointing there with my man Jaden Daniels. But, they told me that dislocation is worse than a break. But I don't know. If he can come back in a few weeks or whatever they were saying, I mean, that sounds pretty okay. Obviously, man, that looked painful. The way he cradled his arm underneath his body after the shock of it all, and we were watching it live, and it was just made me you could go back and watch me wince on camera. I was like, oh my God. Montana State taking some steam right now against Colorado. Montana State was getting 13. They're now getting 12 at most books. Montana State just took the steam here this morning. Bobby Mack's looking for dogs. That might be one of them, right? I mean, I think if you're looking at the steam, right, you just want to make sure the number hasn't totally gotten away. You're usually like I said, probably getting the worst of it, but you're probably also trailing a very sharp professional move. A steam play, just say it today, won't do it every day, but that's when many books move at the same time on a particular side. These are usually coordinated bets by professional bettors, or the fact that the game is moved and a popular bettor or service or a sharp book has made a move on a play, and all the books follow immediately. That triggers the steam. It's not just some arbitrary, like, we like this team. We're just telling you the market is moving, and usually that's because of big money on one side or a sharp move that one book might take it, and then every book moves. They call it lighting up the screen. One book will immediately turn to like -13, and then they'll all turn red moments later, as if other people are betting it too. It's not about everybody, although yes, a lot of times they have to hit many books, because a lot of times professionals are limited and they understand the rules, and they have to just get as much money down as much as they can, as often as they can. Sure is getting a lot easier with some of those exchange books out there. M the Great, hello. Ziggy, hello. Let me cover the football if we can here today. Real quick, because I want to talk a little NFL with you guys and get your reactions to the action on Sunday. A little exciting day of action in the NFL with that Bills and the Chiefs game. At least I got that game right. I was on the Bills for sure in that game yesterday with a premium pick with my sports money win club premiums. Buffalo there they got the job done there, led 21-13 at halftime, and took care of business over the Chiefs 28-21. Oregon State is taking some steam here right now in their game tonight. Oregon State against North Dakota State. Oregon State was an 8-point favorite, maybe even 8.5. They're up to 9 now, maybe even 9.5. Oregon State taking the steam against North Dakota State. Panthers over the Packers, man, and Tucker Kraft gets injured. He was such a key part, it felt like. And the Packers offense keeps doing this, right, against mediocre teams here. Panthers are this is a good season for the Panthers, no matter how you look at it right now with their record. So, yes, they are improving here somewhat dramatically, right? Nobody really saw them. Yeah, I know they were just barely going 500, but it's the Packers that's disturbing. And now without Tucker Kraft, and this offense continues to hit hurdles and road bumps every time with Love. So, was his birthday yesterday, but with Kraft going down with that knee injury. They did outgain Carolina by 100 yards, but only scored 1 touchdown. Carolina's won 4 of their last 5 games, so they got the win with that 49-yard field goal. In windy conditions, it was dramatic, wasn't it? The wind was going howling. They said, this is the most wind he's ever kicked in. He made it look good. I said Fade Dowdle. He had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Packers only could manage a couple of field goals. So not enough offense right now for the Packers to, the North is getting tough here right now. They're going to have to kick it in gear a little bit for sure. Speaking of the North, the Bears over the Bengals in just a wild game keeps the Bears alive, but, and they're in the North, and maybe they were on the bottom there for a moment, but they're certainly kind of in the thick of things a little bit. Yeah, the Lions and everything going on. But hey, good on the Bears to get this win over Cincinnati in just one of the wildest games of the season, if not the wildest game of the season. Williams threw a 58-yard pass to the rookie Loveland. Cole Kmet left the game with a concussion, and then Loveland was rumbling down the field, and they couldn't even tackle him. This big guy was running. Bengals scored 2 touchdowns in was it 11 seconds? Was it 30 seconds, 45, whatever it was. The Bengals scored 2 touchdowns to grab the lead, 42-41, when it looked like they were dead. They ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. We said go over in my sports money premiums, and it did. Easy over there yesterday. But actually, I was on the Bengals there and actually took it on the chin. But the game featured 1,000 yards of total offense, and Loveland had 6 receptions and 2 touchdowns, 118 yards, as the Bears have won 5 of their last 6. And they've been hot on the takeaway department as well. So bad defense, yeah, maybe, but then they ripped the ball out of your hands. That's pretty big. Broncos over the Texans 18-15. Broncos got their own walk-off field goal there, 34-yarder to get the win. They've won their last 6 games, and 4 of them by 4 or less. We said, I was on a show there yesterday morning, on here too, but I was on a show. This was a sports money premium formula, the Win Club on the under, and we did have the Texans, though, unfortunately, but had the under, and I said, this one's going to be 19-17 probably when it's all over. I apologize. It was 18-15, but it both ended in teen. So a crazy game there. Houston kept getting field goals. Fairbairn had 5 field goals, I think, there in the first half. There were 5 for 6, but for whatever reason, this team has trouble, and Stroud has trouble inside the red zone cashing in with touchdowns. That's been Houston's problem here, it feels like, this season. Lions over the Vikings over the Lions in a thriller, and the Vikings won it. It was 7-7. It was 14-14. Then it was 17-14. And Minnesota started to pull away a little bit. The Vikings won in Detroit for the first time in 5 years. Minnesota's got that win. Minnesota's gone over in 6 straight games, but big win there for Minnesota over Detroit. They're back alive with JJ. And I said on another show, I said, I wasn't sure that the Vikings could win that game as a double-digit favorite. I said, you know what, though? You're going to see that by the end of the game that J.J. McCarthy will belong once again, and you'll just have to say, hey, he's earned his chance. He's earned his starts here on his recovery right now. I think that's a fact. I think McCarthy, they've put their faith in him. Okay, we got to see more right now, but I think he looked pretty much composed, even in those games. Those 2 primetime games that we saw. Where I mentioned it yesterday. I said, McCarthy, we probably haven't seen either what we're supposed to be seeing, or maybe he's not going to be. But he looked fine. I mean, he looked more composed than a lot of the quarterbacks right now. A lot of the borderline quarterbacks. I mean, he's the starter here right now in Minnesota for sure. All right, and a couple more if we can. Maybe recap the afternoon action. I want to remind the Patriots over the Falcons there, and the Patriots had a pretty big lead. They ended up only winning by 1. I had the Patriots there, but they could only manage a 1-point win in the game. The Falcons scored a touchdown with 4:40 left, but missed a point after. Romo, they can't figure out their kicking game. Probably should have gotten rid of Koo there. I mean, you're not going to get much better than him. At least that's what it looks like to me with Romo here. So Patriots have won 6 in a row, gone 5-1 against the spread. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. There, Bijan, we said we're on the fade a little bit there, and I don't think he matched a lot of his props there yesterday. Bijan was a little bit held in check, and that usually spells doom for Atlanta. My Chargers won over Tennessee. Oh man, what was the kid's name? This is going to be a bad story if I can't remember it. One of the players on the Chargers was they had to go to his hotel room on Saturday and told him he had to call his mom. His brother had been shot and killed, and he played with a heavy heart. And I wish I could think of his name here right now. Not telling a very good story about that, but he played in the game and played well, they said. And the Chargers won 27-20. Titans scored on a pick 6 early in the game to take the lead, and then the Chargers came on back and they outgained Tennessee, of course, 340-200. Herbert threw for 250, ran for 57 yards, and the Chargers got a pretty good win. Titans also had a punt return for a TD as well. So I think the defense did a good job. But man, Alt, the Chargers lineman, he's out again with another injury. He got rolled up on ugly there, but the Chargers got the win. Titans got the money. We were on the Titans here on the morning steam there yesterday. A little bit of steam coming in here, a little more steam. Hope you're enjoying the steam. We got some steam here, though, with Ryder and Virginia. Steam to the over here. It was 145. Man, this thing opened 143, actually. Now it's up to 146. This has been one of the bigger movers here with Ryder and Virginia over. Also, moments ago, here it is. The added board, Oklahoma took some steam just moments ago against St. Francis. In this one, Oklahoma's a 28.5-point favorite. Now Oklahoma is 29.5 right now. Steam against St. Francis. OU taking that steam. All right, is that all Steelers and the Colts. Can't forget this one. Colts turned the ball over 6 times in the game, and the Steelers got the win. That wasn't the Colts that we've come to expect. Indiana Jones was kind of held down there pretty good, and the Steelers are 11-6 against the spread. Their last 17 off a loss, 14-5 against the spread. Last 19 as a home dog. So Colts go down there. Steelers still breathing. They're fine, but they have their own set of issues. Also, 49ers rumbled past the Giants. McCaffrey, we said he would finally go off, and I think that game was pretty much kind of going off. 173 yards of total offense and 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving and 1 rushing. And the 49ers ran the ball for a pretty good chunk there. That was a defense that McCaffrey was going to have his way and get some of his numbers back. It felt like we did have the 49ers here on the morning steam. there yesterday, and the Giants have a pretty bad defense for sure. Their afternoon games, Rams over the Saints. They crushed them. We said they would here on the morning steam as the Rams routed them 34-10. Stafford 281 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the Jaguars over the Raiders there. We did take the Raiders and the points on the morning steam show. That was a winner, believe it or not. Jaguars win at 30-29. The Raiders scored with 16 seconds up. They went for 2, and I think you're supposed to right there. And they didn't get it. So Raiders missed a point after a 95-yard drive in the first half, and that proved to be the difference. And how about the Jaguars kicker? Another long field goal. In fact, it was a record 68-yard field goal for Little in that game. Wow, that guy's got the best. He's even better than the Cowboys kicker. All right, that's the NFL, and thank you for listening to that. Let me know what you were on and what you're doing maybe tonight, and we'll get the show going because we've got lots to talk about here today. And let's see what we got here. A few more names in the chat. Action Jet Textiles is here. Trevor as well. And Ziggy talked 42 points and you lose. That's not how you get it done. Yep, we got you. Falcons can't find the right kicker. Broncos, the offense, right? They're just good enough. Is that it? I mean, Titans with a good performance, says Ziggy. Thank you, Joe. That's the Chargers player there. Daylon, I think it's Dalen Henry. It might be Dayan Henry. You're right there. But yes, man, could you imagine that? And then you go out there and play. That really sucks. Okay, played good though. Played with a heavy heart. Got either in on a sack or got in on the quarterback there and said a prayer on the field. All right, I think that'll do it for the previews and stuff like that. Like I said, hey, if you want to support me here on the channel, do so by going to winnable.com/Ramon and get more plays from me. Queens leads here, 67-64 in a good game. I think it's going over. 7:24 left, not quite there yet, but it's going to be close. And a good game right now on YouTube. Field of 68 is the channel on YouTube to go to. Let's talk here and go to the NFL tonight, shall we? And talk about the big game. Or at least the game of the night. We were having some fun last night making fun of that matchup a little bit. Or I was anyway because I wasn't winning. Well, we did win. We did well in the props. Dallas, though, here favored by 3.5 and the total 54. Now, look, the Cardinals are going to have to play Jacoby Brissett. I know a lot of people say, hey, you know what? This is the better option compared to Kyler Murray. Please. I mean, it is not. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Kyler Murray, look, Kyler Murray might not be the best option for any team, but I think Brissett, I know what you're saying and what you're getting with Brissett. Maybe there is something to it. You know, he's more of a pocket passer, and I don't know if he's more, I think the way Murray plays is what kind of the Cardinals team needs offensively because they're challenged in so many different ways that it doesn't always work out playing a standard field position game with a stationary quarterback. Sometimes you got to have a guy like that. There's no doubt people, Kyler Murray's in there in some critical moments, pulling off some stuff. We've seen it time and time again. Now, Brissett's had his moments too. I mean, this guy's a veteran. I mean, he's started so many games for so many teams in a backup role. It's almost like we know what we're going to get with Brissett, right? But I mean, can they? They're only a 3.5 point favorite. I know Dallas, this defense has been horrific. We know that it's been terrible. But Arizona's not very good. They're 2-5. It's not like it feels. It almost feels like it's not the same Arizona that's kind of hung in there in games in the past and at least got the money a little bit with a little bit of magic, a little bit of Murray magic here, right? Pulling it off in the end. They're down 14. He gets a touchdown, then he gets another one, and they're 6-point dogs and they lose by 3 or something like that. It's typical Cardinals. But maybe here against Dallas, everybody's kind of thinking it feels like people have been talking up Arizona with these points. It's a great matchup. for Arizona. I can't tell you it's not. I mean, Dallas has a bottom 3 run defense, in my opinion, but you got Bam Knight and Super Mercado in there, the running backs this week. I mean, I don't know if you guys are Bam Knight fans, but he's your starting running back tonight. He had 57 yards last game. He had 54 total yards in the game against Indy. Bam Knight's been around. He's a third-year guy, and he's a starter right now because of all the injuries in the backfield that the Cardinals have had. And behind him, you have DeMercado. I like DeMercado, but mostly you're going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. and, a ton of it. You might want to play Marvin Harrison Jr., even if the numbers are a little bit high today with Brissett. I think I'd have to like it. It's a pretty great matchup for Marvin Harrison Jr. because beyond that, they've got Michael Wilson. They've got Zay Jones. Are they going to get a lot of looks here? I mean, I don't know if these guys are very trustworthy, but you got to throw it to somebody, and you could obviously throw it to McBride. They're going to do so, but you know what? One thing Dallas is okay against is tight ends. They're probably top 10 in defending against tight ends. It might be the only area where they actually show a positive number, decent numbers, above average defensive numbers. Some steam here with Navy, taking some steam here on the extra board. They are taking on Presbyterian. Navy was a 1.5 point favorite. They're now 2 point favorite, maybe 2.5 here. Navy's taking the steam against Presby today. They're on the added board. Okay, so let me know what you think here in this one with the Cards and the Cowboys. As far as the Cowboys are concerned, I don't really like them. I don't really like much for them as far as these numbers. I think they're all heavily inflated because of Dallas's pretty decent offense. I mean, they have, obviously that's part of their strong point because their defense is so bad. We know they're just 3-4, but Javonte Williams here should have a pretty good matchup. And I do like him to go probably over in his rushing props. South Dakota State taking some steam here right now. They're almost at the bottom of the board. They're taking on Louisville. Here's the dogs you're looking for, maybe, right? Or no, they're a favorite here. South Dakota State, this one is being played, I believe, at it's in Sioux Falls. And let's see here. I think that's at the Stanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls. South Dakota State was a 5.5 point favorite. Looks like they're up to 6.5 here. They've taken some steam in their matchup against Merrimack. South Dakota State taking that steam. So I like Javonte Williams. I think Dak's got a neutral matchup. Actually, the Cardinals, they are better than average in defending against number 1 and number 2 receivers. So it's actually a matchup that kind of favors them as well. In fact, I would think the statistical matchups do favor the Cardinals here. I just don't know if I trust Brissett. I know no one wants to lay this hook with Dallas, but let's see what you have in this one. I might do it, but this total 53.5, it's gone up pretty high here. I mean, the defenses are bad. I know it might be an over. Let's see what you got in the chat. Let me hear from you. All right, Justin's in the chat, and here comes he's got the first play, I think.
System play.
Cowboys over on their team total. Ziggy likes the over. Action Jackson here on the Cowboys. Hello to Chris Warren in the chat. Cash gains on the Cowboys money line. Justin says Harrison over in his receiving props. How about CD for an ATD and under for cash gain? Action Jackson also likes CD's yards. Blue over 16.5. Another thing, not debating Chris here. I mean, that's a pretty modest number, right? 16.5. But you look at here, oh man, Winthrop has taken the lead here with 4:52 to go with a 2-point lead. And Queens has the ball. Good game. So I think with Blue here, right, I think Javonte Williams, Blue is the number 2 guy here, and this is what Chris is saying. He likes him over 16.5. That's cool. I think he might go over 16.5 too, but it's only 16.5, right? I can think that shows here. Ooh, bombs a 3 for Queens. But it goes to show you their number 2 guy and his over under is 16.5. That's going to be a heavy workload for Javonte Williams, is what it feels like to me. And that's why I kind of like Javonte numbers to go over as well. That sounds like a kind of heavy volume here. And Winthrop puts it back in 73-72. Chris Warren likes the Cowboys. Greg says the Packers and the Lions messed up. They had a golden opportunity. Also, Chris likes Knight to go over in his receiving prop. Greg here liking the Cowboys cover there a little bit, right? I thought 3.5. I mean,
Steam playing.
maybe Brissett is going to be okay. Here's some steam coming in on North Carolina State. North Carolina State was a huge favorite in this one. They are minus 31 against North Carolina Central. They're up to 32, maybe even 32.5 here. Some steam's coming in on North Carolina State against NC Central. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific steam on the Wolfpack. All right, let's see here. Got more plays from you guys. Thanks a lot, everybody. This is the game where the Cowboys go down, says Ziggy. Murray's still banged up. No Murray this week. Yep. Cowboys money line, team total over for Gooey McDougal in the chat. Terrell's got his 3-leg parlay. Chris says take CD under in his receiving prop. I actually am probably going to be playing under. I don't like to go on the show with the guys. They give me a hard time. I don't, giving unders out is kind of boring. I might be under and with CD and George just because they're so high. It's so high, but I guess that's where you got to go if you're the Cowboys. You gotta. Action Jackson says Cardinals' pass defense is trash. I don't see it. I don't know if they are. I have them kind of right in the middle of the pack. Maybe even like I said. I think against top receivers, the numbers are okay here for the Cardinals. It may just be the way the game works out. All right, Cowboys team total over. Robert does like the Cards. Tariq is on the over. That's what I said, Chris. It's just too high for me. I'm so stubborn. I just want to go with the over and all these guys. And they are, and then they win it and they hit it. And I'm like, man, what a wimp I am. Steam play here again. We've got more steam. This is fun. With the under in the game between North Dakota State and Oregon State. Steam to the under here. We already said Oregon State got steamed. Right now, here's steam to the under. They're writing the script for you, these sharps. I said earlier, Oregon State went from 8 to 9.5. Now the steam has gone from 146.5 down to 145 or so. So, man, Oregon State going to play some D against North Dakota State. Is that what it's saying? Okay, here, let's see. And maybe they got to split those attempts there, right? I think that's what, yeah. Cowboys put about 40 at home. They do indeed. So far, let's not forget, right? I mean, I guess I could talk about what this offense has done, maybe go over some of the numbers too. But Cowboys at home, they've scored 40, 40, and 44, right? And scoring 37 points or less, they're 0-4 this year. That's awkward, right? Cowboys are 17-9 though against the spread. Last 26 as a home favorite. 16-10 against the spread. Last 26 off of a loss. They've gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. And the last 5 games, Dallas, one of the best in the league. 20 touchdowns on 52 drives here. Under Gannon, though, Arizona is 19-10 against the spread as an underdog, and the Cardinals are 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games as a road underdog. Usually you're getting a little bit more than this, I think, in some of those instances, but that's a pretty tough stat to ignore, especially if you're a team like Arizona where all 7 of their games have been decided by 7 or less. You're only getting 3.5 here, but you're getting that hook. Our Cardinals are coming in off a bye. They are 1-6 off the bye with just a 2-5 spread record in those type of games. So a few more comments from you. Monday Night Football be previewed and get your play, but here's a little more steam. I got to do it, you guys. It's so fun. St. Thomas and St. Mary's, the Tommies against the Gales. This one's taking steam to the over, interestingly enough, right? You got St. Mary's, and this one's pretty low comparatively to a lot of games, but steam to the over here. It was 139.5. We're up to 40.5 or so here with St. Thomas and St. Mary's steam to the over right now. All right. Chris says maybe Pickens is more palatable. I love Chris. Chris is gonna write my script at least. Trey for Jermaine. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually not on Trey this week. I love McBride, but I think the Cowboys, like I said, one thing they do is cover against the tight ends pretty well. Dallas has bounced back after the Denver blowout. Turpin under in his receiving prop. Yeah, I'm neutral on the rest of the Cowboys here, I think. Cards number 24 in pass defense says Terrell. Andrew says Cowboys will win it. And I think that's an over, though, for Andrew. I think that's an over. And Dallas wins don't fall for the hook. They'll still cover, says Greg. Chris has Ferguson for an ATD here. BYU and Houston in basketball. Thank you. Chris says, yeah, that's average pass defense there. More steam. More steam. Georgia Tech is taking the steam here right now in their game on the added board. Georgia Tech tonight is taking on Maryland Eastern Shore. There it is. A 25.5 point favorite. Now it's 26.5. It looks like Georgia Tech is taking the steam against Maryland Eastern Shore. Chris Warren likes Bradley. We're going to do a few previews today of college basketball, but not a lot. He also likes St. Peter's. And Justin says they score every time at home. They go crazy after a big loss. Robert here going over. Greg's on the Steelers. Should be a good game tonight. And thank you to Stop Geo in the chat. I finally caught up, and I think I better get out of here. The football preview here is over, and I'm going to make my pick here right now in this one. And I'm actually going to take, man, this is a should be wild, right? It should go over. I'm going to take it over here, even at 54 for me. Feels a little crazy, but Dallas, yeah, they are 6-2 to the over so far, 3-0 to the over at home, 3-1 to the over as a favorite. We'll not mention Arizona is 1-2 to the under on the road, 2-2 to the under as a dog. Otherwise, they're 3-1 to the under to the over at home, but I'll still take it over. You guys are telling me the defense is bad. We know that, right? And it'll probably continue for Dallas and probably for Arizona too. So what happened to the Queens game this morning? Says Greg. Greg, it's great. Right now, I don't know. I'm not supposed to. I don't show the game, but. And right now, Winthrop's winning 75-74 with 3 minutes to go in the game. Chris with a little more basketball here. And Chris likes under in Denver. It's great to have all these games today. And like I said, I'll have a package of plays. All right, let's move on. We got to get off this football here. And I really appreciate it. But we can only talk so long on it. And coming down the end here. Okay, let's go to the NBA tonight, shall we? And take a look at this card. Pretty big card here with Milwaukee taking on Indiana to get us started. Hey, it's been a good weekend of NBA action. We'll kick it off here right now and take a look at tonight's card. I'm kind of enthralled in the game here. Winthrop walking it up with a 1-point lead with 2:10 to go. I guess it's not going over here, is it, at 164? But Queens might get that money. Could go overtime here. We don't know. All right, let me try to watch the game here and talk about these games. But we got the Bucks taking on the Pacers here in this one. Bucks coming in 4-2. Pacers are 1-5, but they are 4-2 against the spread. As awkward of a start has been for Indiana, induced by all these injuries here right now. They're not very good, but they are covering here at this point and getting the numbers. But so are the Bucks. The Bucks are actually 5-1 against the spread, despite being just 4-2 actually straight up. So that's been pretty good actually for the Bucks. But, we got the division foes here concerned with, and I think there's something to be said for this matchup between the Bucks and the Pacers here as Winthrop puts in a bucket lead by 3 with 1:10 to go. Milwaukee here against Indiana. They've covered the spread in 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams. Like I said, Milwaukee's looking great. They are, covering these numbers for sure, but they are favored here. Indiana doing a decent enough job, it feels like, as a dog, getting 6.5 points here. So, yeah, they're not winning right now, but they are still pretty gutsy here. I'm going to have to lean to Indiana. I'm not leaning. I'm taking them. I'm taking Indiana here. It should be a decent enough game here with Indiana right now. Indiana finally broke that losing streak. They beat Golden State last time out as a 10-point dog, 114-109, as Indiana did get the money at home as a big dog against the Warriors. So maybe they could do it here. Remember, Milwaukee just lost to Sacramento at home, so a little bit inconsistent. I'm going to take Indiana here in this one. And you guys are welcome to comment. 8 chosen ones here. All right. Under in the Bradley game coming up. We got another game coming up in an hour. We're going to better get to previewing it. Justin here is on the Bucks over. All right. The next team is in. It's on Ball State. Ball State today is taking on here UL Lafayette. Ball State was a 2.5 point favorite. They're up to 3.5. Ball State taking the steam against ULL. Ball State taking that steam. Ziggy's on the over. And Greg says here, Bucks there. That might be an over at least. 9 Legacy. Bucks on the spread. Cash Cane, Bucks money line. Bucks off a loss, says Greg. Cash Cane's on the under, and R. Tomps is on the under here in this one. I'll take the Pacers here plus those points. All right, 4-point game. Winthrop is at the line here right now and making free throw, but they called a timeout, I believe. Timberwolves and the Nets. Here come the Wolves. They're just 3-3 so far, and Edwards still out of this lineup here currently, nursing an injury here coming in, and they are favored by 9 over the winless Nets right now. It's been a disaster here for the Nets so far this season. They haven't won yet. And not only that, not really covering either, although they are 2-1 against the spread at home. That might be okay because even though the Wolves are 3-3, they're 1-5 against the spread. They've been overrated for sure so far, even with Ant missing a couple of games here now. He's going to be missing some more as well. So hasn't been all great. Minnesota's kind of been overrated, overvalued, I guess, but Brooklyn can't get anything done either. They did cover against Atlanta as an 8.5 point dog. They covered against Cleveland as an 11.5 point dog. Like I said, the only thing they got they have covered twice at home this season, although I will say I think they were actually favored in those games, or at least in the 2 wins. I think they were actually favored. So they're getting 9 here because they're 2-4 ATS as a dog and 2-1 ATS at home. So that's about all I could say positively here really for Brooklyn coming in. That, hey, they're the team that at least has covered a few games here at home. Man, Winthrop, they're going to get this money here possibly. Queens is having to foul. Winthrop leads here by 5, 18.1 seconds left. So, okay, Minnesota, though, like I said, struggling here, but they are 12-3 to the number in the last 15 games against Brooklyn. They've won 5 straight against them. Brooklyn, like I said, not getting any money, but, man, I'm going to take them again. Shame on me. I'm going to take Brooklyn here, plus 9 points against Minnesota at home. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. And it's going to be Tariq on the over. 9 Legacy will take Brooklyn. Cash Cane says take the Timberwolves. And Greg says don't forget, Ramon, Brooklyn played last night against Philadelphia. Brooklyn did not get the money, right? Philadelphia got that money yesterday. In that game, it was 129-105 as hot Philadelphia came in and took them down. But Philly's been covering some games pretty good. And here's Ziggy on the under. How about a couple more steam moves, man? Winthrop's up 7, 18 to go. Might take a last-second three-pointer here to get the money for some of the people. Might come down to it right here. Oh, no foul, and Winthrop's going to win it. Let's see if they foul out here a little bit. They'll probably just let it go. And Winthrop has won the first college basketball game of the season, 81 to 74. It's an under, and it's Winthrop getting the money here over Queens College in the first game of the season. Well, I hope the whole season doesn't go like that, but fun game to have on here. And there's another one coming up in just a bit. All right, Western Kentucky just took some steam here in their game. Western Kentucky against Tennessee Tech. Western Kentucky was a 12-point favorite. They're up to 13, maybe even 13.5 here. Steam on Western Kentucky. And Georgetown taking the steam here in their matchup tonight. Georgetown was taking on Morgan State. Georgetown was a 25.5-point favorite. They're now up to 26.5. Georgetown taking the steam against Morgan State. All right. Winthrop covers. And what a way to start the season, says Chris Warren. And Jermaine says, could he use that? Just take a shot at least, right? The guy thought he was shooting a three-pointer and to get fouled. No. The guy took it right from him, and the game was over. Kings plus the points for Greg. Let's keep it going right now in the NBA, and I've got the Wizards taking on the Knicks. Here in this one, you got the Knicks favored. Oh, no, the Wizards aren't favored by 11.5. No. There we go. The Knicks are favored by 11.5. Total 234.5 here, of course. The Knicks are going to be favored. Knicks are 3-3 overall. Washington here is on a 4-game losing streak right now, and they're 1-5 so far this season. Knicks were on a 3-game losing streak before they won last time out. Knicks are 3-0 against the spread at home. It should be noted. Washington here just 1-5 ATS overall, 1-4 ATS as an underdog. But the Knicks at home have covered them all so far this season, even laying some points. They covered against Chicago, laying 8 as a 12-point win. They won against Boston, laying 3.5, covered that one as well. I think I like Nick. I'm going to take the Knicks here to blow out the Wizards. Give me the Knicks here today. I'm going to try New York to crush Washington here in this one. Get the plays from you, and I got some more steam coming up. They're showing those games. We got the Bradley and St. Bonaventure game here in 45 minutes. Hopefully we'll get there and preview it if I can stop talking about NBA basketball. Greg said Pistons on the money line. And Cash Kane likes the Knicks. Ziggy likes the over. And Jermaine likes Brunson. And I've got some steam for you. California is taking the steam here. Cal, is that right? Yep. Cal taking the steam here tonight in their matchup with the Bakersfield Roadrunners, of course. Cal here favored by 14. They're up to 15.5 right now. Cal just took some steam against Bakersfield. And West Georgia plus 23.5. They just took some steam, good old West Georgia here in their matchup with Nebraska in Lincoln. They were getting 23.5. It's down to 22.5, maybe even 22. West Georgia took the steam against Nebraska. It's not always the favorites. It's about 50-50. Okay, here we go. Greg likes the Knicks in a blowout, it looks like here. Wizards are bad. He might even take the Knicks, says Chris, right? That's saying something considering the big spread here, right? And Tariq says Knicks first half and full game. He likes a blowout.
Final.
Oh, there's that first final coming in. All right, I've got more pro basketball here with Utah on the road. Take it on the Celtics.
Final.
Hey, Utah, they're 2-4 right now, but you know what? They're getting some numbers here. It's not all terrible. They're 3-1 as a dog so far. Are Utah? Meanwhile, Boston not covering much at all here. They're currently coming in with a record of 3-4, but they're 2-5 against the spread here so far. Not great with Boston here. I've talked about the players have kind of had to step into the starting role a little bit, and the type of lineup that the Celtics are kind of having to run out there right now. But it's not great, actually, and they're probably still a little overrated. People were just expecting Boston to be, and what, quite frankly, I was too. I thought that, it's still Boston. It's still a great, no Tatum right now, and the injuries are definitely piling up here a little bit with these guys and the shortened roster here. But Minot and Queta, they've actually done pretty well. It's just that they're just without Tatum. I don't know. It doesn't feel like they have a lot of energy. But like I said, you have Boston here still favored by 10, man. In this, it's 11 now here at circa 232.5. I can't do it. I got to take Utah here. Like I said, 3-1 is a dog right now. Yeah, Utah's lost to Phoenix and Charlotte. Got blown out there last night by Charlotte, 126-103. But Boston just lost at home to Houston by 27 points to end that 3-game losing streak. I'm going to say it's just too many points. I'm going to take Utah here. They were without Kessler yesterday. His status today is questionable here, but I'm going to go ahead and take Utah in this one against Boston on the Morning Steam Show. And we can get your comments here. All right. And let's see here. We've got, take a look at the picks. There's Sean in the chat. He says, is it blowout city tonight? Are you talking to football, Sean, or other games today? What a card, huh? Fernando, Nick's team total over. And Nick's got practice. They got to practice tonight. Ziggy likes the Celtics. Cash gains on the Jazz. Nasty Nate likes the Celtics team to smash. And so do I, but not enough to get the spread. How's that? Boston might be. That's what it is, right? We did just, blindly people, and I don't want to say with Nate that people are doing that. I mean, they're still Boston, for crying out loud, okay? Jerry did not like that result for the first game of the season. Justin's on the over. Greg here has this one. That's a Utah cover and a slight over. Jermaine here got a prop. And Jerry, Jerry, I don't know what, Jerry, the names are coming across weird. I can't quite figure it out, Jerry. I'm going to look into that. All the names, you can't write these. You can't use your handles and the nicknames. It just comes with and I'm not sure if it's on my end or not. Action Jackson there, Utah for 9 legacy. Utah got blown out by Phoenix and Charlotte. Take those points. Chris says Pritchard over. Tariq's on the Boston team total over. Justin says, damn you, Queens. And Minot, look at this. See, Jermaine says, I've been taking Minot's rebounds. I don't know what they are today, but it's good money. Keep it moving right now here in the NBA with a great card tonight. Pistons here and the Grizzlies. No Ja yesterday in that game. He was suspended, and, well, it wasn't any good for the Grizzlies, right? The Raptors got that game in and under yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, Raptors got the win and the cover yesterday, 117-104 in and under there. But here you have Detroit on the road. They're going to be a 4-point favorite coming in here against Memphis, maybe even 4.5 right now. And this total's gone up too to 236.5. So a little bit of move here while we've been on the air. Portland or Pistons up to 4.5. Here, Detroit's won 2 straight. Memphis has lost 2 straight. Detroit with, why do I keep saying Portland? Detroit with wins over Dallas and Orlando. They got the cover in that one. They've won and covered 4 of their last 5. Sasser's out still for the Pistons. For the Grizzlies here, back-to-back losses to the Lakers and Toronto. Memphis is just 2-5 ATS and 0-3 against the spread as an underdog so far. Meanwhile, Detroit is 4-2 straight up, 4-2 against the spread. So doing a nice job. They are favored here on the road, but Memphis feels like they're not. Feels like they're a little bit sus here right now, and man, think of Detroit here on the road, and I kind of want to take them. Pistons are 0-5 though against the spread against Memphis in the last 5 meetings, and they're also 0-9 in the last 9 straight up against Memphis. So maybe Memphis back at home can get it back on track. That's kind of a long sample size, right? They only meet twice a year, but still, it's been a complete ownership of the series by the Memphis Grizzlies when these two franchises have met. It's just that Memphis right now is in a little bit of a funk. Let's go to you in the chat, and then I'll make my call because, here we go. Everybody's mad about Queens. Everybody's on Queens, right? We should have been. Okay, here's Pistons for cash gains. Ziggy's on the under. Boston first quarter for Irish. Jerry says Raptors was easy money there. And which job will be here? Take the Pistons. Ziggy's on the under here. Chris says Giannis over. Justin says he's got the Grizz plus the points at home. Memphis has players out. Be careful. Oh, man, more steam. Okay. Yeah, Memphis here, their injury report. Ty Jerome is definitely out. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been out here for a few days. I think we knew he was going to be out. So for Detroit, Tobias Harris is out. Oh, no, he's questionable here. Harris is questionable in this one. So, all right. Giannis, if he's in, Milwaukee, he's in, I'm pretty sure he's in. Here's Chris says, take Ja over, 9 legacy, Pistons on the spread. And Jerry says, I got to take Detroit. And Greg says, oh, I think that's actually Memphis right there. And I'm going to take Memphis as well, plus 4 points here. 9 straight meetings, that's pretty significant. I mean, I don't know if the roster's changed that much here. Maybe a series head-to-head might be okay when you're getting some points at home. 5 straight covers. Basically, last 2.5 years, Memphis has covered every game that they've played. Jermaine likes them too. Andrew says everybody was on Queens, and that's when you got to go the other way. Robert says he'll take Memphis as well. Yeah, I might have detoured there on that. Okay, next up, we got the Mavs taking on the Rockets here on the road. And, man, the Rockets are a 12-point favorite, 12.5, total 225 here. Dallas comes in 2-4. Houston's coming in here 3-2 with a 3-game winning streak. They lost their first 2, and then, boom, they won 3 straight just like that. They had lost to Detroit and OKC, but now have beaten Brooklyn, Toronto, and Boston to move to 3-2. Houston's also 4-1 against the spread so far, 3-1 against the spread as a favorite. Dallas is so far 2-4 ATS. This is only their second road game, I think, true road game. I think they played that Mexico City game, right? But they are 2-1 against the spread as an underdog, at least here. But, oh, man, I don't know. Dallas right now is looking a little bit sus. Let's see what you have, though, in this one with the Rockets here. They kind of own the series, right? Dallas has won. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Houston's won just 5 of the last 16 games against Dallas, actually, but maybe the turnaround a little bit of the rosters. Maybe there's something to that. You do have Houston 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games at home against Dallas. They've actually blown them out when they're at home. And Dallas isn't looking too good here against the numbers so far. So I'm more apt to think this is in blowout territory, actually. I'm going to take the Rockets here and lay the big points against Dallas today. I'm going to take a blowout here with Houston. Let's see what you have in the chat. Oh, I got to get to some steam that came in. There it is. Okay. Jermaine says that 0-9 sometimes, right? We don't always. We look for, like interconference games. And sometimes you don't pay attention. 9 straight, might pay attention. Sports Money, good morning and hello. Hope you got my message. Please help me and fix my mistake there. So sorry. Here, just a guy trying to do some shows with some friends. Chris Warren likes Cooper Flag over in his assist. I think that's a Morning, or it's either Morant. Ready Samedi, hello. Ziggy likes the Mavericks against the spread. And as Jermaine says, he wishes he knew. I have the splits, but I don't like him enough to say him on the shows. Mikey does a great job though, and it's more significant on his show when he on pre-gaming because of the late action, right? I think here I'm more interested in like what the books are doing on the morning steam. I think Robert McCormick says Houston -7.5 first half. Greg here has a close to the spread there. Tariq says Houston team total over, and Ready Sabeti is there. I'm going to take Houston though and cover the big number. Kings and Nuggets in this one. Got the Nuggets here. Another big favorite here with Denver at home against the Kings. And we know Denver's up to like 12.5 here right now, I think. Yeah, 11.5. There's some 12s. There might even be a 12.5, but it feels mostly closer to 11.5, I guess. Maybe some 12s. Sacramento was on a 3-game losing streak, and they came up with a win last time out against Milwaukee on the road, 135-133. This is their 4th straight road game. Denver, meanwhile, was on a 3-game winning streak, and they lost at Portland, 109-107, as a 5.5-point favorite. But it's Denver been so far. The 3-1 against the spread as a favorite, 2-0 against the spread at home so far. And for Sacramento, they're just 2-4 ATS so far this season. Sacramento's also 3-1 to the over on the road so far as a road dog. 3-1 to the over so far for Sacramento. Let's see what you have here in this one. I might be on another blowout actually. Considering Sacramento's just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 against Denver. Denver's actually, like I said, covered them both at home. They're also, let's see here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the best trends right there. Let's see what you have. I'm gonna take another blowout here. I'm gonna take the Nuggets. In this one, I got to get to some steam, man. I love it. But let me take a look at some picks here. Nuggets ATS for Ziggy. All right, you can put some more comments in, but I'm going to look at a couple more steam plays here. Arkansas Pine Bluff and Washington. Yeah, they're playing tonight. Pine Bluff at Washington, steam to the over here, just came in a short moment ago. It was 157.5. It's up to 158.5 or higher. Steam to the over, Pine Bluff and Washington. Also, Western Illinois and Radford. Some steam in this one. It was 149.5. We're up to 150.5. Steam to the over with Western Illinois and Radford. Why not? Why not? George Washington taking some steam here. They were -20.5, but they're up to 21.5 or 22. George Washington taking the steam this morning against the Maine Black Bears. And also Youngstown State and Pittsburgh. Going to see this one taking some steam to the under with Youngstown State and Pitt. It was 148 down to 147 or slightly lower even. Youngstown State and Pitt, some steam to the under there in that one. Oh. All right. And let's see. Greg here has this one close. And Tariq says he's got a Nugget blowout. Bethune-Cookman taking some steam here on the added board. Bethune-Cookman in their game against Auburn. They were getting 27. This one's, I think, going all the way to 25 right now. I don't think it stopped moving here, so might be able to still get some points here. I love these. I love the move when it's on the big dog. Yeah, a lot of times you're missing out on the move, but 27 to 20 down to 25 isn't as significant as like 4.5 down to 2.5. You know what I mean? Hey, there's Aubrey in the chat liking the Nuggets. Jerry likes Pitt today. Pitt Panthers. There's no Pitt NBA, but there was the Pittsburgh Pisces. Did anybody know who the Pittsburgh Pisces basketball team was? All right. Here we go with couple Couple more.
Steam play.
Northwestern is taking the steam here right now in their game on the added board as well. Northwestern against Mercyhurst. Northwestern was a 25.5-point favorite. They're up to 26.5 here. Northwestern taking the steam against Mercyhurst. Also, right after that, it's Towson taking the steam in their game against Loyola, Maryland. Oh, that's a Baltimore battle right there being played in Baltimore. Towson was a 7-point favorite. They're up to just 7.5, maybe 8 here, but Towson taking the steam right now against Loyola of Maryland in a DMZ showdown. They're also just moments ago Milwaukee. Milwaukee took some steam there against the Pacers just a few moments ago. Milwaukee was a 5.5-point favorite. They're up to 6 or 6.5 at DraftKings right now. Milwaukee taking some steam. I'm on the Pacers, so put that in after the game.
Steam play.
UAB is taking some steam here right now on the added board tonight. UAB was taking on here Mississippi Valley State. UAB was a 34.5-point favorite. They're up to 35.5, maybe even 36. UAB, a big steam there, big spread with Mississippi Valley, but probably close, right? Steam came in. Man, having some great fun here doing this. See a few more comments. We'll get through the NBA here, and I'll have a few college basketball plays. All right. Zach for Terrell there. Yeah. Oh, Chris Warren won it. Chris Warren won it. He said the fish that saved Pittsburgh. Remember, with Dr. J was in it. Jonathan Winters, I think, played the owner of the team. Some other basketball stars were in it. It was about a bad basketball team that used what is it called? Horoscopes. They used astrology to guide the team. That's what it was. They guided the team to victory with using astrology. They had to have the right. Okay. Bradley here. Hey, we're getting ready. We're just a half an hour away from another game. Justin said, I don't even know. Justin, you would love the Fish That Saved Pittsburgh basketball movie. Hey, have you heard? It's the fish that saved Pittsburgh. Whoa. All right. And let's see. Jokic, a triple-double. Yeah, right, Jerry. If the Pisces were a real team, that would have been the ABA for sure, given the time and the era and the uniforms. They were like kind of like I think Will Ferrell, his movie was kind of a slapstick parody of that movie in a way, right? When you think about it. Lay 50 with the UAB, says Jerry. And Chris says we're on fire in here tonight, right? You guys like it just when I look for attention by being loud and obnoxious and yelling out steam, and that's probably what we should do. Hey, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Washington. We mentioned that steam to the over, and here comes the steam on Washington. They were a 33-point favorite. They're up to 34.5 here with Washington and Pine Bluff. It says the steam is Washington and over in that game. I can do the math right here. Now up to 158.5. So you got to figure there 80, and then you got 97 to 63 would be the final score. And if they cover it with the steam, it'd probably be 95 to 64. 95? No, that'd be 31. 98 to 64, 98 to 63, 97 to 6, somewhere around there. All right. Dr. J, right? He played in Philadelphia. Boy, as a kid, getting to see Dr. J play in person, that was a big moment. He was great. All right. Kings. Okay, next one. Lakers and Blazers here with the Blazers favored. One more steam play. Come on, you guys. We've got steam coming in right now in the game between Jacksonville and Miami. It is to the under here. It was 145.5, but now it's down to 144.5. It looks like with Jacksonville and Miami of Florida, steam to the under here on the Morning Steam Show. Jacksonville and Miami of Florida. Lakers and Trailblazers here. You got the Lakers coming in 5-2. Oh, look at this total though. I typed these in kind of late last night, but this thing is up to 237 now. It was 232 when I typed it in there. And Lakers here, maybe, or Blazers here, maybe favored by 3. But, oh, man, has this one been on the run? I was on a show last night taking the over at 232. Hey, you guys, this I've got to mention right now. The steam is coming in on St. Bonaventure. We mentioned it because that's the next game up. Let me give my play out right now. And I'm on Bonaventure. They were getting, you guys, you know it, I know it. They were getting,
System play.
2.5. Now it's 1. I'm showing a pick 'em now. Bonaventure obviously getting the steam here. You guys seem to like him in the chat. I think some maybe mentioned Bradley, but I think it was mostly Bonaventure. It's now a pick 'em here right now at some shops. There's still some 1.5 or 1s out there for Bradley, but the steam's clearly on Bonaventure. I like Bonaventure. I'm taking Bonaventure. You guys seem to like Bonaventure. Game starts in 22 minutes on the Field of 68 channel on YouTube. They're going to have a lot of basketball, I think, this year on that channel. They said next year we're going to go back to the 24-hour debut and start the games in the real middle of the night. But so there's our preview. Basically, the game starts here in 20 minutes. But Bonaventure is taking the steam right now against Bradley. There's more steam coming in here in college basketball. I hope this is an okay way to at least touch on as many games. Bonaventure missing 4 key players here. Wedlow, questionable. Marshall, questionable. Lonati, questionable. And Ermakov, questionable. St. Bonaventure has the injuries actually coming into this game, but they are taking the steam. And this one's at the same place we just saw the last game there in South Carolina. Okay. Oh, a little more steam here real quick. Duquesne is taking the steam here. Duquesne against Niagara. They were a 16-point favorite, make it 17 now. Duquesne taking some steam here tonight in the game against Niagara. Also, Coastal Carolina and Western Michigan. Steam to the under here in this one. It was 147 down to 146 here right now. Steam to the under. Coastal Carolina and Western Michigan. And that's it for now. Let's keep going here with the NBA. Lakers are 5-2. Blazers are 4-2. Both teams have won 3 in a row. Lakers did it had some games without Luka in there and still kind of passed with flying colors. Lakers are 3-0 against the spread on the road. Portland's 3-0 against the spread at home. So far. So Portland's 5-1 ATS. Lakers are 5-2 ATS. These teams are making you money here right now coming in. But how do you see it here? Portland at home, they're obviously looking pretty strong here right now. 4-2 straight up. 2-0 as a favorite. Lakers are 5-2 straight up, having won all their road games so far this season. Lakers are 5-2 against the spread. Their last 7 against Portland. Coming in for the last 5 games between these two teams have gone under. Let's hear from you in the chat before I make my call in this one with the Lakers and Portland tonight. Lakers continuing kind of to get it done, it feels like. Here we go with Ziggy. I think he likes the over still. Greg here said, I think that's actually the Lakers right there. Robert likes Portland. And Terrell says the Bonnies are kind of a better team. Cash Kane likes the Blazers minus the points. Portland first half or Irish King. Chris says that's gone too far now. I'm going to take Bradley here.
Steam play.
Right. And Niagara for Greg. And let's see here. Is Ready Samedi on the Lakers. Justin wants it over. Our Thompson's on Portland. All right. Some steam just came in on Connecticut, guys and gal. Don't want to say our Thompson. Only, yeah. Connecticut here taking the steam right now in their game. And, man, this is a big number. Connecticut's playing New Haven. They were a 40-point favorite. They're up to 41 here or higher, maybe even 42. Connecticut just took the steam against New Haven, Connecticut. But Connecticut taking that steam there. All right. Hey, I'm on the Lakers here in this one, you guys. I'm going to try the Lakers here, getting those points on the road. One more steam move here. Boy, it's going to be sad when we get off the air. How are we going to cover every game? Central Michigan taking the steam against Appalachian State. They were getting 1.5. This one might be a pick-em by the time this one gets done moving. Central Michigan taking the steam against Appalachian State. They were getting 1.5. Might move to a pick-em. All right, Jerry Davis, look, he did it. He was the one. He took UConn already. He's the one that moved it possibly. He's a New Haven playing their first D1 game here, and he took UConn, trying to beat up the little sister there, little brother there. As Greg says, Connecticut will blow them out. You think they will? You think you'll blow them out? Want to treat those little brothers bad? Don't want to let them have a little bit of glory? One more game, you guys, here. It's Clippers hosting Miami. Miami comes in 3-3. The Clippers are 3-2 right now. Miami's actually lost 2 straight coming in. Clippers here off of a win over New Orleans, but they didn't cover. 10.5-point favorites. Clippers aren't doing a good job covering right now. 3-1 straight up, but 1-3 ATS in the last 4 games. Bradley Beal is questionable. Normie Powell is out of this game. And thought there was another notable injury. The total here I have is wrong. Oh no, where's my graphic? Sorry about that, you guys. I don't have. Yeah, this one was kind of late to market, I thought. -8 to 26.5. Or not every book was up to market last night. Maybe because the Heat were playing the Lakers last night in that game. They got blown out there by the Lakers in an over 130 to 120 last night. So let's see, though, what you have here. Heat are 4-1-1 ATS. The Clippers are 1-4 ATS so far. So seems easy enough to me. I like the Heat. I've been talking up the Heat here so far all season, and it's been pretty good. Now, they did lose the Lakers, like I said, last night, so it is a back-to-back, and they pushed against San Antonio to start this road trip. A 6-point loss is a 6-point dog, but still like the Heat here right now, and I'm going to take them tonight against the Clippers, plus these points of 8 and to 26.5. Give me the Heat. And let's see here, a few more plays from you guys. Heat against the spread there. And Greg Gibson's got it a 50-point game. Cash gain on the Heat money line. And Greg says 118 to 111. Jerry says the Heat plus the points. Tariq likes the over. All right. Nice talk there in the chat. I'm the son of a Navy man myself, but I did not enroll. Here's some steam on Louisville. Louisville here was -35.5 against South Carolina. They were -34, and they're all the way up here to 36.5. That's some of the bigger steam today right there with Louisville. A big move here from 34 to 36.5 against South Carolina State.
System play.
All right. I think that's it for the NBA. Man, this has been fun. Okay, I've got a few college basketball games lined up. We've been covering, so I'm just going to give you the picks if you don't mind. I think we already did this game, right? I'm on Bonaventure here, and the line is stale now. See from when I typed it in. Maybe it's one, maybe it's a pick. The total here is about 139. And that game is coming up in 13 minutes
Play.
on the Field of 68 channel on YouTube. Here's some more steam. This is Rhode Island taking the steam here in their matchup today against Stetson. Rhode Island was a 16.5 point favorite. They're up to 17.5 now. Rhode Island taking the steam against Stetson. Should I say question mark Rams smash question mark Nate? They just took the steam. Okay, so I'm on Bonaventure. Yeah, I'm on Bonaventure. They might be the, but you know what? Here's the difference, right? Or maybe if you think that the public's on, maybe you're looking at the ticket splits or whatever. I'm showing it. I'm actually showing Bradley taking most of the action, but I think when it comes to like looking at the chat of this morning steam chat or the chat on our channel and the shows, right? I want our guys to be on one side. Maybe if it's the public side, you're a little skeptical, but I'd rather take the side we're all on and not say that that's all public. Like I said, my numbers here showing Bradley pretty heavy as the taking the tickets against Bonaventure. I think this is kind of a reverse line move here. I'm also showing 3/4 of the tickets on the under, and I'm not sure I'm on the under. I like the over, actually. Okay. Let me go through here the chat, and I'll put up some more games here a little bit. Let's see, South Carolina State for Greg. And Rams smash, Nate. There it is. He said it.
Play.
Michigan State is taking some steam here. I hope this kind of, at least gives you a little bit of, because like I said, we just can't preview every game, but at least gives you some context to maybe where that line is moving. Michigan State against Colgate. This is actually a pretty good game, right? But Michigan State, a 20.5 point favorite, now getting steamed up to 21.5 against Colgate. Okay. I get it. It's in East Lansing, but Colgate, I think people like Colgate sometimes, but it's 21.5 now. Michigan State took that steam. Man, they're in the third set. Swiatek won the first set. Rabakina won the second set, but Rabakina's taken this one down here in Riyadh. Iga, she's not so excited when she gets on the hard court. That's for sure. Okay, Nate. Oh, he had already said it. I didn't even realize. Nate had said it first, and then I said it. All right. Jerry says he says Bradley is public. I'm just looking at the Don Best numbers. Have it 85% of the tickets here or the action there on Bradley. I also subscribe to Sports Insights. These are ones that are kind of the paid service, so I do kind of respect the numbers from these services. I know a lot of people are skeptical of all the. This one has a Bradley heavy actually. Close to 90% of the tickets on Bradley, maybe even more, showing it 94% of the tickets. So Bradley's the public side according to these two line services. And we're on Bonaventure. Okay. Colgate for Jerry. Colgate.
System play.
And Justin loves that reverse line movement. You know what? Having handicap with Justin, and me too. We're all about the reverse line movement for sure. All right. Watch that game. Colgate sucks, says Nine Legacy. Bonnie's made a couple of turns. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, let me just run through a couple of games with some picks, okay? And that's how we'll do it in college ball. Here I've got my Ken Palm. I'm crunching Ken Palm all night. I think it's worth the $20, you guys. Or I don't know if they increase the price this year. I just renew it. And Ken Palm, I like it for sure. That's the way to go. I know everyone, don't handicap this. Don't go off the numbers if you don't like to. To me, though, the database of the Ken Palm is tremendous, especially the players and the stats that go in there right away. I think that's the key with Ken Palm. I know it's overhyped a little bit, but I think just the sheer volume and the speed of the site, right? Because they're really just numbers and links to go from team to team to team. That's what I like about it. And, if you like the ratings are solid, but if you like other ratings, I think for me, I like Ken Palm ratings, but I also like the Massey ratings. If you're looking for different ratings, I think Massey ratings are just as fine. And there's some you can kind of mash them up. That's what I kind of do. I look at a few different ratings and then I start with my own. And that's how I start the season. I don't just rely on my own. I look at the others too, kind of mesh them up together and then start adjusting from there, or let the computer do it. Let the computer do it. Okay, a little bit more steam here. Northwestern State, Texas A&M. Steam to the over in this one with Northwestern State and Texas A&M. It was 150, but now it's 151, 151 and a half. Steam to the over here. Northwestern State and Texas A&M, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Also, Long Island taking the steam here against Notre Dame. Notre Dame was an 18.5-point favorite, but now it's down to 17.5. Long Island taking the steam against Notre Dame. Sometimes I don't mind that underdog steam. Usually that's better than. I don't know. I mean, it kind of goes both ways. Iga just got rocked, I think 6-0 in that third set. She's done. She's going to get me off these hard courts. But Long Island taking that underdog steam there. All right, what did I promise here? A few plays. So this is the other afternoon game. This one's at the Stanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Here in this one, it's Murray State favored here by 5 now. Total 51.5. I'll just get. I'm on Murray State and the over. I'm on the move here with these two. With Murray State and Nebraska Omaha. Sorry about that. I was just looking at something here. See how the line move has been coming in on there. Obviously, Murray State taking the action here. And here's one more. Iowa State is taking the steam right now. We have Iowa State against Fairleigh Dickinson. And Iowa State was a 35-point favorite. They're up to 36 and a half here with Fairleigh Dickinson. Steam on Iowa State there in that one. Okay, and so the steam came in on the over in the Murray State, Nebraska Omaha game earlier, and that's what kind of drove it up. So it has gone higher. I'm not passing out any value here as I'm going with Murray State and the over. That one's at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And let's see here. Looking at your plays. Right? Right, yeah, Chris, and there's so many games, right? So that's why I like doing the steam too. We don't know how it's going to go necessarily today. We want to see all the new teams out there. Terrell says he likes Crest. Jerry says Murray State. Chris is on Omaha. Just seeing the note here. It looks like Jalen Haynes of Cincinnati. He's out indefinitely. Nebraska here. This ain't last year's team, Omaha. Murray's got a good team always. Omaha may shoot the lights out. It's Stan Don Biz, my man. He loves college basketball. Yeah, tune in with me every day. That's what we're going to do here with the morning steam, right? And that's how we give it out. Jerry says LIU Sharks. Jerry says Iowa State. And Chris says practically a home game for Omaha there in Sioux Falls. And Robert here is on Murray. Where's my Dodger fans today? We got the parade coming up here in a couple of hours. Reddy Samedi likes Texas. All right. Let me keep going here in college basketball. Just got some plays here. This one also at the Sanford Pyramid in Sioux Falls or Pentagon, Pentagon. You know what I mean. With Drake here taking on Northern Arizona. Drake's a 10-point favorite, and it's down to 9. It's down to 9, and it's 143.5. I actually like Drake in this one. I'm going to take Drake here -9 in this one. Total has gone up here too. 143.5. Probably good to go on that, but I'm going to take the Bulldogs here. I'll give me the Iowa team against the Lumberjacks here. Kind of a step up here for NAU, I think, right? I mean, even Drake's got to be a little bit better than them. I'm going to lay 9 points here with Drake against Northern Arizona. But there's also some steam that just came in on a game we've already seen the steam come in on the side. Now here comes the total. North Carolina Central and NC State. We've already talked about this one with the side. Now the steam comes in on the under. It was 147.5, but we're down to 146.5 or so here with steam on the under with NC Central and NC State. The steam came in, remember, earlier on NC State. The current line, just to show you right now how the I guess the steam kind of works here anyway. The line currently is about 33.5, and the total now. I said, you know, and I look at it right away, and I say what the move is, and I say, like I just said, for example, the was 147 down to 146. That's what I looked at. I move on. Just checking back to show you how it will continue to move. Just seconds later, it's 144 right now, 144.5, I should say, at Bovada and DraftKings, and 145. So it's already dropped another point as well. And you may be seeing those same results. I may be saying, oh, it moved from 20 to 21.5. And you look at it, it's already 22.5. Yes, it is already 22.5. But just know that even if you might be losing a little bit of value. If you like that game, maybe you can still go. And then if it goes a little bit too far, you're like, too far, too much there. But we're giving you actionable, as Mike likes to say, actionable betting information here on the show. I think that's a good way to put it. I hope you like it. I hope you like it. You like that? How about another one? Holy Cross and Providence. Steam here to the under. It was 150.5. Right now it's up to 151.5 or maybe even higher. Holy Cross and Providence, the steam is coming in here on the over with Holy Cross and Providence over 151.5. You tell me if you see it going even high. You don't have to tell. I'm just saying. Check it out. You'll see I'm always, rarely is it going back the other way, guys, especially in college basketball. You know, you got some steam in these other NFL or whatever. Hey, it might come back. In college basketball, it's rarely coming back. Baylor center Jocelyn Bodo is out tonight. Loyola Chicago guard Justin Moore is questionable. SMU center Jaden Toombs is out indefinitely.
Steam play.
Speaking of NFL, there's some steam right there. Baltimore and Minnesota steam to the over between the Ravens and the Vikings just now coming in. All right. What was the line in the Heat, Chris said? I'm here for the action. Yeah, Chris, I think it was the Clippers by 8, and the total here is 226.5. And Nate has Providence. And where's Bradley? Yeah, YouTube, not YouTube TV stand on, just YouTube. Just YouTube. Go to Field of 68 is the name of the channel. It's a good channel. Not only they show games, but they also have like a nightly wrap-up show with scores and interviews of coaches. It's a really good channel. I watch it pretty much every night when they do those roundups. It's really good. Okay, let me look at a couple more here. Just picked out some of the better games here. Troy and Kent. I say better game, meaning it was good. It had a good score, a thrill score on Ken Palm. So you got Kent here by 4, 142.5. It's not steam or anything. I just like this one over, okay? And I get to get a move in before the steam comes in, or if it does. I like the over here in this one with Troy. And you know what? It might have already actually – I'm kidding myself here. I think it actually – no steam. I'm just taking it, okay? Can I get a play in here edgewise? Oh, no, Chris. Oh, man. All right. I didn't see that. Is that today? Got to date us here a little bit, but Jerry, how can you watch her on 24 hours here? I mentioned earlier, I sent Mikey a message, a trade here in the NFL. Jalen Phillips gets traded from Miami to the Eagles. Another move there. Thanks, Tariq. See you later. And we're almost done anyways here. We go a few more picks here. I got the over here in Troy and Kent. Another one here. This is tonight. Florida and Arizona. This is one of the featured games of the night. This one's being played out here T-Mobile in Las Vegas with the defending champs going up against U of A. But I like U of A here tonight in the opener. It's in Vegas. Florida's favored. Get all that. Should be a good game here. Again, might be just, kind of taking the points here in what should be a high-level game here in Las Vegas. And I'm willing to take 3 points tonight in this one against Florida. The totals actually moved from 159.5 to 163, unless it's moved even further. It's down to 162, actually. But I like Arizona. Maybe I like the over here. Another steam move coming in right now.
System play.
Binghamton and Syracuse just took some steam to the over in this one. It was 150. It's up to 151 in the game between Binghamton and Syracuse. Steam to the over right there. And a couple more here in college basketball. Boston College and Florida Atlantic. Look at this one, a 1-point spread here with BC and FAU. I'm taking FAU in this one. Minus, it's up to 2. It's up to 2. Maybe someone was looking at my notes behind my back. But I've got Florida Atlantic here. It's 2 and 149.5. I am taking Florida Atlantic. You'll see the game has started there on YouTube. I'm taking Florida Atlantic here over Boston College. And couple more. Let me see some comments here. Justin was on Arizona. Justin took FAU. Me and Justin, we're going to go down with the ship or we're going to win tonight. FAU for Reddy Samedi. And Chris talking about Eagles making those trades. Jerry says, I'm on Florida, that front court, including the depth. Arizona's got a new club coming in. Thank you, Jerry. And let's also do a close one here. I like this one. Indiana State and Charlotte. This one, I believe, 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific here. And I've got the over in this one with Indiana State and Charlotte. Right now it is so many games, you guys. It's great, though. 153. In fact, there's some 152s out there, but I've got the over here with Indiana State and Charlotte. One more. This one, the other one at T-Mobile tonight here in Las Vegas with Villanova and BYU here. So a good matchup, a little bit bigger spread here with BYU favored by 8.5 in this one. But I'm looking at the total here in this game, and I've got this one over 153.5 tonight at, I think, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific or so with BYU. It's up to 10 now, and it's up to 10, by the way. I don't think I'm going to update it, but I already was on a show last night. I said BYU minus 8.5, and now it's 10. So BYU there. Hey, Indiana's moving in college football on some steam just now. They were 14. They're now 14.5 or 15. IU, what a season again. There are no fluke, you guys. I mean, maybe for Mendoza, but it just seems like this guy is a very, very good coach. And, man, as he turned around, made Indiana forget about basketball for a while with this football team. And they're taking the steam there right now. Okay, that's it for college basketball, maybe maybe we'll have some more steam, but it's been fun. Let's do 4 games on the
Steam
ice.
playing.
Let's do one more. Oh, college football steam. Kennesaw State getting steamed here right now in their game. Kennesaw State right now. This is football, you guys. But I might as well, I'll report some football steam coming in. Kennesaw State against New Mexico State. They were 7.5. They're 10 at Bovada right now. 8.5 here at some books. 10 already at Bovada. This one's moving. This is how it works. Here, I can't sit here all day and recite the steam. And, you can make a little money by playing these moves, but you got to be on them early. And you got to be willing to take some back, too. Okay, that's it for college basketball. Thank you, guys. What a fun time that was. Showing the Bradley fan, showing the Hersey Hawkins jersey in the stands there. Bradley getting underway here. BYU for Justin. Yep, these guys were laying it. There's Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza in the chat, everybody. There he is. I hope he wins the Heisman. He's our guy. All right. Jerry said he took IU last week at 11. Now look at it. Yep. Right, Chris? It's no fluke. It's no fluke. I mean, this Indiana team continues to prove it in conference. All the teams, and Signetti, he's a certified lunatic. Let's face it. And I mean that in a good way, right? You hear him in the interviews, and I mean, this guy's cut and dried. I mean, we get the facts from this guy, and he's not screwing around. He's a good coach. All right, that's it for that. Okay, we got hockey. 4 games real quick. Let's do them and get out of here. Don't forget, you can win more plays from me here in the chat, so get ready. All you got to do is comment in the chat, and then you'll be eligible for the drawing at the end of the show to win my service here. Like I said, going to have some big-time plays coming out here today. Some, a reasonable card for sure for college bad from this point forward. If you haven't subscribed and you did so for the 40 cents a day, this is where I don't want to say it pays off. It always pays off, but I mean, I've got a lot of college basketball I give out, and hopefully it'll be great, and hopefully keeps you don't have to play them or whatever. Just see what I'm on, see what you're on, then compare. Maybe we're on the same play. All right. Do better, Fernando. All you do is win the games. All right, here we go. Hockey. I've got 4 games here, I think, right now. We got the Pens and the Leafs here in this one with Anthony Stolars going up here against Tristan Yari in this one. We call up the goalies here. Stolars, he's likely to be the starter here. He was coming in here in the starter's crease. The Leafs have been up and down for sure, 6-5-1, but Stolars comes in. He stopped 31 of 33 shots in a win over Philly last time out. Stolars, a 3.31 goals against, 89.5% save percentage. Leafs come in here as a favorite, but the Penguins come in here 8-3-2 right now. Yari's 5-1 with a 2.35 goals against average and a 92.5% save percentage. Penguins have been solid so far this season. Now, kind of want to lean with Pittsburgh, maybe the money line. It's a little bit high, and yeah, maybe Toronto is the better team. At least Pittsburgh, this puck line's a little bit daunting. $1.70 here. The puck line and the money line are exactly the same. So I guess you could do +1. Maybe you take Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh here, and if you don't mind, I will take them on the puck line at +1. Mikey said don't do it. Well, I think he meant the favorites, though, for the most part. Still $1.70. But my standard play here on the show really is to lay 1.5 or take 1.5. But when you do that, you can change. It doesn't go exactly what I'm doing on these free plays. If you like them, you want to take them at +1, that's fine. But I know what Mike is saying right here, right now. These we're not seeing the empty netters as much right now, and we're also seeing those underdog teams be able to pull that goalie and get that extra goal, or at least just staying within 1 goal. They definitely are. There is not as many I don't know if it's in general. I'm saying it. There's not as many 2-goal victories as there is
playing.
games that are staying 1-goal victories right now to the first couple weeks of the season. Okay, also a little more steam. Why not? Bucknell, Delaware and Bucknell. We're seeing some steam there in that one to the under. With Delaware and Bucknell, it was 151.5. It's down to 150.5 or 150. Steam to the under. Delaware and Bucknell. We're almost done with this fun show celebrating college basketball's opening day. 2-2, Bradley and Bonaventure here. All right, getting some picks on the hockey here. There was Greg there. And we're all going to meet one day. You know, I don't meet anybody. They always I'm going to say they want to meet me. I want to meet all my friends, I think, too. But you know what? Your heroes always let you down, was my coined phrase. Ziggy likes the over. And Crosby to get a point here. Greg says 4-3 Pittsburgh. Our Tops likes the over in this one. And Timothy says over in this one. He says, look, Leafs over 7 games in a row. Wow, pretty wild there for the Leafs at home here. And been going over for sure. Andrew's too much sports, says Andrew. Yeah, the equinox is over though, right? St. Bonnie's, yeah, that's Woj is the general manager. And you know what? I think it seemed to me like it paid off. I mean, the way Bonaventure played last year, more teams have the general manager, right? What the general manager does, it kind of manages all the players that are coming in there, who's getting NIL deals, or it's fast. It's changing so fast. You got to have one of these general managers there a little bit doing it. And also Woj had some health problems, and this is just a better job for him. I think he's a St. Bonaventure grad, and the same. You've seen Andrew Luck on the sidelines of Stanford. He's the general manager of Stanford, and you see more teams with a general manager. Michael Lombardi. He's the general manager of North Carolina football under Belichick. Just got to have one of these guys kind of managing things. Okay, next up, we've got the Canucks taking on the Preds here. You got Thatcher Demko in there taking on Juice Saros. In this one, Predators, $1.15, 5.5. With these two for the Canucks and Thatcher Demko. 4-4 record, 2.41 goals against, 91.5% save percentage for the Predators here with Saros. 5-4-2 record, 2.78 goals against, and 90.5% save percentage here in this one as we have the Canucks here taking on Vancouver. For this series, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Vancouver is just 1-6 in their last 7 at home against Vancouver. Vancouver's come in and won 6 of the last 7 meetings here in Nashville when Vancouver is on the road. I'm going to go under in this one. That's the wrong total, I think, by the way. I believe this total's 5.5. Sorry about that, gang. 5.5 over 20. I'm going under. Didn't mean to fool anybody there like I was cheating. It's 5.5 over, though. And there we go. But I'm going to go under in this one with the Canucks and the Preds. We're almost done with the show. That's what I'll do, Greg. Once I get really super popular with you guys, I'll invite everybody here. Canucks for Ziggy. Irish King says Pittsburgh and Vancouver here. And Greg, I just wanted to do this and be, I never made it as a big sports broadcaster or journalist. I mean, I still do that stuff. I do it as high a level as I can do it. And being on the Sports Money Network is a big accomplishment for me, quite frankly, and being on all these channels. A big accomplishment, starting my own channel, doing my high school coverage. I always wanted to be one of those guys, and here I get to do it. And again, you can just support me. And hey, I'm getting old, man. I can't go back. I'm not going back to my poker dealing or. That's what I did. My main job in my life was over 15 years as a poker dealer. I also ran big sports restaurant for about a dozen years with 140 TVs. That was an awesome running book out of there. So I love this stuff, but I'm getting old. So I'd like to do this and come talk with you guys. So please subscribe to my picks and keep me going here. I'm not to retirement age yet. And this is all I got. You guys, I'm not working. I'm gambling and I'm working, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm here in Las Vegas. Mr. Weskers is here. It's all good. My life is complete. I like JJ McCarthy. I hope Mr. Weskers does too. That's why he's mentioned him. Man, Bradley has just 2 points here. Bonaventure leads 8-2. Let's go, Bonaventure. All right. Let's see. I got a couple more on the ice. How about the Oilers here taking on the Blues? Oilers are on the road in this one, and they've got Skinner in net going up here against Jordan Bennington. Oilers are a favorite on the road here, about $1.40, $1.55, $1.40, $1.45 in this one, and the total is this one's the 6.5 under 25 there. I think that was what I had. There we go. With Skinner on the road here, taking on the Blues in Bennington. For Skinner here, he comes in with a 4-3 record, 4-3-2 record, 2.51 goals against, 90% save percentage. For Bennington, 2-4-2 record coming in, 3.21 goals against, and 86% save percentage. Man, this one's gone up to 6.5. I know I can find 6 over 20 at Circa, 6 over 23 at Bet Online, 6 over 25 at South Point, 6 over 24 at Stations, where I do a lot of my betting right there. The Stations there. Oh, there we go with the Stations, and my boost play is Florida and Arizona there, but I use the apps here in Las Vegas. So I'm going to go over, though, in this one with Edmonton and St. Louis. You can grade me at 6.5 if you want. Hopefully it goes over that. I'll probably play 6 over juiced there. And we're going to have one more game and the show's over. I'm tired of talking. Oilers for Ziggy. And Chris talking about the game says these teams aren't shooting very well. We're in a neutral site kind of here, but 8-5 right now. This one's going under. One more game on the ice. The Blackhawks are taking on the Kraken. You got Spencer Knight and Joey Decord in this one. For Knight, he comes in here with a 4-3-2 record, 2.62 goals against, 91.5% save percentage. For the Kraken. Joey Decord, 5-1-3 record, 2.7 goals against, 90.5% save percentage there. So Decord looking pretty good here so far. It's just a pretty big price at $1.60, but what are you going to do? It's actually down to $1.50 here at some spots. Total 5.5 over 25, I'd say. I'm going to take the Kraken here. I can get $1.50 reasonably here. I'll take the Kraken $1.50 at $1.49 at Circa. I've got Circa too. That's what I play here in Las Vegas. That's my few other outs here in Las Vegas. But hey, you got to keep it legal here in Vegas, even though I got some offshores. Don't tell anybody. But the Circa app, it's got all those games up there. Let me see what I got here. You got the wagering of the Circa and all their sports on there, the Circa app. As well, kind of a dull app, isn't it? They got the live betting here with Anisimova and Keys just started here. Just started at the live betting app here in Vegas. That tennis match. So, just showing you how I get it done. Since we did a little extra talking today with the college basketball season, let you know how I operate, especially when I'm going to be dealing in such heavy volume here moving forward. So please consider. If you like this show and you like the way it went with the Steam and all that, I pay several $100s a month for those services. They're for me, but I will tell you guys when the Steam comes on. We do it every morning all season long. It's only November. We're going to be doing this through March. So please consider subscribing right there over at winnable.com/Ramon for just about 40 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. And like I said, if you get a month, I put an extra week on there. If you get 1 day, I put an extra day. If you get the 3-day, I put 5 days. If you get the week, I put 10 days. That's just the way I do it. It's about getting a lot of people to subscribe to the picks and showing me they're interested and keep me waking up at 4 a.m. every day to do this show. So that's what I'd like to have from you if you really were serious about supporting me. And I also send you the updates with more picks from me if you like them or not. Just show you what I'm on. One more Steam if you want. Colorado and West Virginia football under 56.5 here today. So one more there. Thanks, everybody. Let's run the commercial from Mike. He explains it so much better.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Did we really only have 20-something? We had 40-something the other day, but let me do the drawing and see who wins a free subscription to the Winnable. You see it here. Oh, I'm on the small screen, but there's the Winnable with my banner there, and then the plays come through, and then they come in. And then I like how they're getting the AI together. This has really revolutionized a lot of stuff. And here's some basketball plays from last night. I think I went, what did we go, 3-1, right, gang, on those NBA last night, and there they are. They show you which games win. They give a little green there and show you which plays won after the fact, and I like that. Helps me. Everyone says the transparency. I do so many games, you guys, I can't really, but if you follow them on Winnable, and there they are. Look, Cincinnati, Chicago over we had the under in Houston. And then we had what else? We had the Bills there as well as a pick on Winnable. So let me do a drawing here, and then we'll get out of here. Thank you, everybody. There we go. Andrew, Stop Geo, Cash Kane, Timothy, Justin, Jerry Jones, Nine Legacy, Robert Dixon, Fernando, R. Tomps. Yes, R. Tomps. Die Hard Niner fan won the game yesterday. Yes, they did. R. Thompson, I'll put, hopefully you're signed up right now. If not, just do it again and put it in there, the promo code winner. You know how to do it, my friend, and I'll extend you there. And Jerry says both game. Why the over, Ramon? Which one was that? I already went over in let's see. I went over in Edmonton, right? And was it that game? Oh, was it the Blackhawks with Decord? Greg, I'm sorry if I messed it up there. Thank you for the hockey comments, guys. Ziggy likes the over. I'd imagine that because of probably where the line fell, quite frankly. If there are good goalies, and I agree. I mean, I read the stats off. I read them for you guys kind of too, and I don't always adhere to them. But usually it's because the line itself, maybe the public is already on that side. And if it's 20 cents the other way or something, to me, that's good enough to sometimes put me on the other side, quite frankly. I mean, I got to be honest with you. The most important factor sometimes in determining the winner of these games is luck, unfortunately, for us. Hopefully our skill wears long in the end, picking these games, and that's how you get it. But thanks for these comments there, you guys, in the hockey. I think I might have missed some of them, but thank you, everybody, for a great show. And I think that'll do it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam, and I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. I'll also be back later today, actually, here. Happy Halloween, everybody. This is what Mike and I were fussing with here, talking about I can't get to the screen goes small, and then I can't get my little controls up. There we go. Oh, boy. join me here later on today for VB MMA picks. It's going to be either at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, or 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. I don't know what the time change. We kind of got it screwed up, I think, because VB's in Europe and I'm in Vegas. But we will have the show here anyways. Set your notifications, or you can catch it later on this week. We'd love to have you in the chat, though, there. So, and join us there also. With it being Tuesday, Monday night, we got Monday Night Football here with razor sharp picks tonight, Cardinals and Cowboys. Make sure you join us for that tonight as well. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the